Gordon White said, "If the Western esoteric tradition can be said to have an underlying belief system, it is a form of animism, that the world or the universe is in some sense a living thing. However you conceive of their true nature, magic requires full engagement with fetishes and sacred ground and window areas such as crossroads. It also works best when you grant agency to objects or entities beyond human consciousness, and particularly so with living systems. It is more useful for the magician to consider living systems not as some unaware little eddies in a universal consciousness field, but as outposts of the spirit world. It is impossible for a material, dead universe to support any form of magic. A mental living universe is entirely different. Every part of it is imbued with meaning and purpose. Every part of it strains and strives. Dreams literally prove that minds can create what passes as matter. Dreams demonstrate that there is no such thing as scientific matter. All matter is made by mind, hence isn't matter as scientists imagine it. Mind underlies all material things. The ancient religion of animism is worth considering. The Pan-Reference Dictionary of Philosophy says, "Animism is the view that everything in the universe, including even plants and inanimate objects, has some kind of psychological being more or less tenuously similar to that of human and non-human animals. When this theory is held by primitive peoples, it is called animism. Philosophical animists have been called panpsychists. Animism perceives all things, animate, inanimate, as alive and having some kind of psyche, hence they can be affected by psyche. Animism even assigns mental agency to words. Each word has its own spirit and drive, which can be exploited by a magician. The philosophy of idealism, where mind is the root of all, doesn't claim that things such as rocks are alive. Rather, they are produced by living minds and can therefore be influenced by those minds. Where animism requires all things to be alive, idealism requires some things to be alive, and for everything else to be made by those living things. If you ponder dreams, animism would, if pushed, be forced to say that dreams are alive and have their own agency. Idealism, by contrast, would say that the dreamer is alive, and the dream is their construct, but the dream isn't itself alive. It reflects life, but is not life in itself. The more ambiguous area concerns beings created in a dream. Are these alive? Do they have their own autonomy and agency? They might be regarded as fragments or splinters of the psyche of the dreamer, and therefore they belong more to the dreamer side of the equation than the dream side. They belong to the constructor and not the constructed.